of 2025, here we go. I got my hands on the new Spring 2025 beauty releases from Hourglass, YSL, Hermes, Lisa Eldridge, Gucci, and more. That's why you have me here with clean canvas. In addition, I decided to upload this video on a very special day for us, our beauty family here on YouTube. Friends, today we are celebrating 6 years since the moment that I decided to turn on the camera, start filming a video. I remember really well what video it was. If you are an OG, please comment down below. Let me know how you got here, how you discovered my channel. And I just want to say a big thank you to all of you because our channel has grown so much and our family is just so strong. We have such a big affinity, not only for everything beauty, but also things that has to do with fashion, lifestyle. Oh, I just feel that I'm surrounded with the most amazing friends. So let's start the celebration. Let's put some makeup on with the new Hourglass Illusion Foundation, which comes, I think, in 28 different shades. It does have a medium coverage with a luminous finish. It contains SPF 30, which it doesn't replace your SPF. I always say either skin tints or foundations that they do have SPF, they should act just as a booster, but do not rely for them to be your sunscreen. Mostly when the brand is telling you to use a pea size, and we all know that we need a lot more than a pea size of SPF. This foundation is made here in the US and it comes with 1.1 fluid ounces, which is a dash more than your typical 1 fluid ounces. And it does have encapsulated hyaluronic acid, which it helps on hydration and minimize the appearance of wrinkles, which I do have a lot of fine lines, signs of aging, like spots, you know, just the normal thing, like real skin, right? I have here the shade number 8. The packaging looks very beautiful and luxurious. Okay, it does have a little seal, which that's great too. I purchased mine from the Hourglass website, and like I said, this video is not sponsored by anybody. I wasn't gifted, none of the products that I will be showing today. And I noticed that with Hourglass I have a 10% off discount code that wasn't working during the holiday season, but it is active now, which is fantastic. It is one-time use only per account. So if you have an email address and it's the first time that you're ordering with Hourglass, you can use that 10% off. I will be leaving all the links of each of the products on the description box below. And there you have it. I mean, I can tell these have that medium coverage from the get-go. Now, one thing is the number 8, it does have a lot of like yellow undertone, which is not something that will work for my skin tone. Let's go with the shade number 11. Okay, this looks a little bit more neutral. See? Shade number 11 has a peachy undertone. Let's go with shade number 12. I'm gonna put it here on the front. I feel that shade number 12 is the one that matches me the most. The number 8 is too yellow, and the number 11 I think will be perfect during summertime. Going with the shade number 12, the consistency is kind of thick. I'm just going to apply it first here on my hand. I'm going to be using a beauty sponge to apply it. I'm just going to bounce it for a nice smooth layer. And then I will build it up from there. They say to use just a pea-size amount. I usually will use a tiny bit more than that, but not too much because I don't like to have a full coverage. I do have a ton of freckles, and full coverage sometimes can look really weird on my skin and look like if my face is dirty because of the sunspots and the freckles. I'm going with a little more. And I'm gonna work it on my skin with my finger first, with just a small amount. And tapping it in with the beauty sponge. Okay, that looks very, very skin-like. And in terms of the glow, it doesn't have like a super intense glow. I thought it was gonna be super glowy or dewy. It's not, it's rather just like a very soft kind of satiny finish. I'm just building it up here on the middle of the cheeks, and I'm gonna use a tiny bit more on my forehead. Oh, that's so beautiful. Lovely foundation. Wow, this is so pretty. First impressions, I'm really enjoying the look of the foundation. It does have a very subtle luminosity. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It's rather comforting, and just I cannot even feel it. I just feel a little bit of that hydration. It's a little bit gel-like, and the coverage is buildable. I feel like more than a medium coverage, I feel it's like light to medium. Obviously, depending on which application you're trying to use, whether you're using a sponge or a brush for a fuller application. Next, I'm going with the new Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Pinpoint Concealer. Now, this is not your typical concealer. This is, like the name implies, a pinpoint kind of corrector that comes in a pencil, so you can really target those areas that perhaps they just need a little bit of help, or even if you don't want to use any foundation at all. And I have watched Lisa's introduction to this product, and I know I'm not going to be using it on the way that she will suggest, because she mentioned that this is not really like a concealer that is gonna cover all the dark and dry circles. But you know what, I want to try it like that. I want to see what it does, because it's my understanding that it's more of like a self-setting kind of product, that it doesn't move, that it does have more of kind of like a demi matte kind of finish. Anyhow, let's try it. I got it in the shade number 6, which was the one that has more of like a peachy undertone. And I'm just gonna work this product little by little, and I'm just gonna try to cover these very dark under eye circles that I have. Now this is great for these inner corners if you have like my type of dark under eye circles that they are blue in hue, very dark. I also have hollow under eye areas. And as a woman with more of aging skin, just tap it in. I don't want a ton of product in the daily underneath my eyes. I, in fact, had been considered many times to use some sort of filler underneath the eyes just to help out with that hollow area, but I don't want to risk it, you know. And ideally is to have less product under this area, the better it is. See, and then I just keep drawing. I'm going to use this one by Pat McGrath. What's going on with Pat McGrath? Why is she not launching any, not any products, but nothing like at the beginning that it was just so exciting. You see, well, Lisa Eldridge, this is not to say anything wrong from, like Pat McGrath. She is definitely a legend. But what I'm trying to say is, like, I want innovation from Pat McGrath. I want to see her, bring us more new things. Like, I remember back on the time when she launched her Mothership palettes. They were coming, I think it was like once a year. And it was just exciting moments, and that's all. She doesn't need to launch a ton of things. Just a few things here and there. Okay, really enjoy this concealer. Look at this. Look at the difference between this eye and this eye. Definitely it concealed that dark and dry area, although it's not really the suggested method. Lisa suggests to go with, say, a concealer and then just define this area and perfect it with this pencil. So going against her rules, but here we are playing with makeup. I'm gonna use the same shade, which actually is a perfect shade for me, and I'm just gonna cover a little bit my dark spots just to give a little bit more of a perfect canvas. What do you think, friends? Does it look good? It does in a way, but I can see why Lisa will not suggest to use it in such a large area. And that is because it starts kind of like breaking apart when you're trying to cover such a, like a large part of your face. I think like a pinpoint as suggested and as the name implies is the way to go. I have a little blemish here and a little bit of darkness in there. Yeah, let me use my quote-unquote regular concealer on this area and let's see if I need to retouch it with a pinpoint pencil. I have applied concealer on this side and as you can tell the difference, it's not by much. This one perhaps have less coverage than the one from Lisa Eldridge, and the one from Lisa has become a little bit luminous. At the beginning was a little bit more matte, but I don't have like a oily skin, it's more dry skin, but a little bit more normal here in the center. And I just see a tiny bit of luminosity. Let's just go with a little bit of the Lisa Eldridge Pinpoint concealer and see if I can achieve more coverage. And by the way, if you're wondering, I'm using the Victoria Beckham Beauty Concealer on this side. It's nice, mixing well too. Okay friends, what are your thoughts about this concealer? I think it has done a really good job to conceal the under eye area, even if I use it in a large amount. Key though, it is to blend the edges, because if you don't, you risk to have this kind of like weird kind of, it's not a finish, it's just, you just need to blend the edges for sure, as Lisa Eldridge has shown on her YouTube channel, on application, on her tutorial of how to use this concealer. Other than that, I think it's looking really good, and it actually mixed really well with the other concealer too. I don't think it had too much of coverage, but it has had enough. I apply bronzer, and now to the Hermes unboxing. Which I have actually unboxed it on my Instagram too, which if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen the unboxing of this baby. I was in a little vacation, a little trip to Maui in Hawaii, which by the way, my blog, I don't think it's up right now. I think it's gonna go live tomorrow, Sunday. So if you don't want to miss it out, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the post notification bell on. But while I was on my trip, I realized that this limited edition blush, Hot Blanche from Hermes, is called Rose Allée. And by the time that I realized it was available at Hermes website, it was already sold out. It may be available right now in other retailers. I will make sure to link it on the description box below as per usual. But my client advisor was so kind and told me, I got it here in boutique. I'm like, please send it to my home. And here we have it. I heard that this looks a lot alike to another blush, bronzer, blonzer kind of situation from another brand that I do have in my collection. So we're gonna swatch it, but this baby is just so beautiful. Look at that color. It's gorgeous. It does have, this is the beauty about the H Trio Silk blushes and bronzers, is that you have 3 different shades and undertones with a little bit of a different finish. Something satin, something that is more like demi-matte, something blurring. So when you mix it in, it gives that silky-like effect. This is just so gorgeous. So let me show you, like this side, it's a lot lighter. Then this one is the one that gives more color. And then you have the in-between shade that is gonna give that brightening kind of effect. Now, let's just swatch it here. I'm sure you're not gonna be able to see a lot, but there is a little bit of variation. Like this one has more peachy, this is more like a warm pink, and then this is more of like a neutral pink. Now, if I do the whole thing together, I'm sorry, I like you so much, like the way you are, but this is a little bit of the shade. I'm gonna apply it right over here. It does have plenty of color. Now, I have heard from a few people that they say that it looks a lot alike to the Gen Nude Bronzer by Bare Minerals. I got the shade Kiss of Copper, and honestly, I don't know if this is the one that they are referring to. I guess so, but this one, it's, yeah, this is a lot more warmer in tone. It has more depth. I know these blushes, they came in 3 different shades, if I'm not mistaken. It may be another of the shades, but yeah, if you were wondering, comparisons, there you have it. Just go for it. Oh my gosh. Let's see this Hermes blush. That's a gorgeous shade. Oh my gosh. I think this shade will work for so many skin tones, to be honest with you, because it's not like super warm. It acts like a sun kiss. Yeah, it does have that little sun kiss kind of effect on the cheeks, and it has the perfect pigmentation. Now I can go even a little bit more I'm sure, and build it up. You know, it doesn't look like when I was swatching it that you were going to have not only the pigmentation but so much dimension. And it does have more of a luminous finish. Not super glowy, not a highlighter, not a luminizer, but you see like there is a very subtle glow that I feel like you can skip luminizer or highlighter. Honestly, you don't need it, because look at that. It's just so beautiful. It just gives such a healthy look on the skin, and it's non-powdery. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. And you know that I have reviewed and swatch every single shade of the Hermes blushes, the ones from the permanent line. So if you want to see those swatches, it's here on my channel. In terms of what's the difference between those and this one, those are more of like a demi matte kind of finish. This one has more of the Gucci kind of luminous finish. Next is this beauty that I have been dying to try. Is the new YSL Spring Eyeshadow Quad. I mean, this packaging, oh, this is luxury. So gorgeous. This is so pretty. Shade 125. And honestly, friends, to me, one of the best, the very best eyeshadow formulation in the luxury world. They come from YSL. They have this very soft cream, like the heart. Bye-bye heart. Bye-bye. I mean, I can still see it. Yeah, they are creamy, smooth. They just have so many emollients that they blend like a dream. So yeah, always excited to get these kind of palettes from YSL. Just give it a swatch here. Spread it a little bit more right there. These does have that wet kind of finish. The shades are more like lilac-y, which it's kind of like expected for a spring. Most brands, they tend to give us a lilac tone. We have seen a lot of lilac lately, even in the Dior's spring collection too. Then we have more of like a nude brown undertone. This shade is more like a almost burgundy, close to burgundy, but not really. And then we have a little bit more of like a blushy kind of shade. I'm gonna go first to this shade, and I'm gonna apply it above the crease. Blending so well, and it's a soft brown shade that honestly you can use it all by itself all over the lid and call it a day. Sonia G Builder, and I'm gonna go to this between corally shade and pinkier shade, and I'm gonna apply it on the outer third. Oh, that's a gorgeous shade too. You know what, if you just want to use it like this shade and this shade, like this shade all over the mobile lid, it looks so beautiful too, and so spring, because it does have a very soft pinky coral tone, and it does have a matte finish. Sonia G Mini Booster, and this shade's gonna go on the outer V. We're just focusing the very edge, Now that shade is a lot more intense, but definitely you can fade it. And it does have a little bit of a Bordeaux undertone to it, so it doesn't translate like a heavy pink shade, which I do appreciate quite a bit. My trusty Smith 253 brush and going to this shade. This shade looks a little bit, not crumbly, but a little bit loose. So I'm just gonna tap it gently and slowly. You see right there? That's for a very soft look, I will say. Now I'm gonna use my finger on the other side, because what I like about these shades from YSL are how gloss wet like effect they give to the eyelid. Oh, and I love this shade, so pretty. You can definitely use this shade and wet your brush. This is a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and with this you can intensify even more if you don't want to use your finger. BK Beauty 204 brush, taking this shade on the lower lash line. Sonia G Flat Definer, and this shade is going on the outer third of the lower lash line. I like that this is not turning pink, so it doesn't look like I have pink eye. Gucci just came out with a new mascara, Le Magnetism. It's supposed to give more volume and separation, and it does have a curved wand. I'm so sorry for my battery died. So I had already applied a little bit of this mascara, and wow, if it does give a ton of volume. Way different than the previous mascara, which is more of a lengthening mascara, one that gives more separation, more like an everyday. This is more like that dramatic kind of mascara. Chanel Luminizer palette, going to this shade, and I'm applying it on the inner corners and whatever is remaining on the brow bone. Hourglass double-ended brush, going a little bit with this shade, tapping it right on my nose bridge. And honestly, I don't even need it, but I'm just gonna tap a little. Because the blush, it does have that luminous magic that looks so beautiful. I got here YSL, I think this is doll, baby doll, I don't remember, 400 eyeshadow palette. Let's compare it with this new one. Swatch it. I think they have certain difference. This one looks more cool tone. I'm just going to apply it right next to it so you can see. Definitely this one has more of a burgundy undertone. The new one, it's a little bit more warmer in tone. From Lisa Eldridge, I also got a lip pencil in the shade number 0 or 0N. Let's see. Oh, this is a perfect nudie tone. I like that it's non-tagging. So smooth. This shade is more like a medium, almost cool tone nude. More for defining the lips and just create that contour effect. And Hourglass just added more shades on their Phantom Volumizing Glossy Balm lipsticks, which I absolutely love. I picked up one of, I think there were 3 new shades. This is the shade Wander, which I'm pretty sure is the shade of one of their stick blushes. It's more like a nudie, almost coral tone. And these are super glossy, like over glossy. You may not be able to see it right here. Oh yeah. That's such a beautiful shade. I don't know how it's gonna look with the eyeshadow look, but you know what? It may look really good because it kind of has the same undertone of this eyeshadow here. So let's try it. Oh, feels so good. And although it's sunny, the weather is dry. So these kind of like lip balm gloss, they feel so good on the lips. That's beautiful, and surprisingly it's showing on my lips, which are naturally very pigmented. Look Love this shade. Love this shade. This shade is an all year round shade, but mostly, I would say definitely spring and summertime. And here you have it. This is the final look. Let me just tell you my first impressions, what I think about each of these products. I mean, in general, I have to tell you, this is a very successful makeup look. I really enjoy the foundation. It looks very much skin-like, non-heavy, super soft. It has that kind of blurring effect from Hourglass. I do have enlarged pores on these areas over here, and I don't see anything emphasized. And you may be thinking, well, but you just did your makeup in what, a period of 15-20 minutes. No, this video most likely is going to be 20 something minutes, almost 30 minutes. I don't know, but it has passed almost 2 hours, because in between I had to change the battery, I had to take a phone call, I had to do mom stuff. So I have to tell you that in this period of time, the foundation is looking incredible, amazing. I love the look. I love that it didn't gather on my fine lines here, on my wrinkles. Is looking super good. In terms of the concealer from Lisa, I think it is what it's supposed to do. Pinpoint, just correct those areas that you have perhaps a blemish or something like that. Like I said, super important. What I noticed right away, you need to blend the edges, otherwise you're gonna get kind of like a crackling mark. But this is a great concept from Lisa, as well as the lip liner. I don't know how long wearing it is, but I really like that. It's non-drying, it does have plenty of pigment, and it gives time for you to like work on it and fade the areas that you want to fade. Super impressed with this blush from Hermes. So happy I got it. I hope that becomes available widely worldwide, because this is to me a must-have. It does have a pinkier undertone that it gives that kind of like bronze kind of effect. This blush, you can use it year round. This is going to be amazing. Spring, summer, oh my gosh, it's just so gorgeous. And as gorgeous, the YSL eyeshadow palette. I mean, not only the casing, let's just forget about the casing for a second. Oh, but the eyeshadows. This is one, if not the best relying formulation from YSL. Their eyeshadows are just spectacular. And don't you worry, because I will be reviewing their new powder blushes. I have purchased all of the shades. In fact, they must be by my door. It's just that I haven't gone and checked the mail just yet, because yeah, I ordered all of the shades available here in US. Oh my gosh, this is just, don't let it pass. This is stunning too. And in terms of the mascara, if you want more volume, length, a lot of separation, a lot of volume, great mascara. Obviously, I will have to report back with you if I see any flaking, any transfer. So that's why it's so important that you are subscribed to the channel with the post notification bell on, so that way I can recap with you about all of these products that not only I try today, but that I try during the entire year, month by month, because I always do monthly favorites. But so far, this mascara, it's really nice. If you really didn't enjoy the first mascara because it perhaps was just like too everyday, common kind of mascara, you're going to enjoy this mascara a lot more, because again, all that separation and just, like volumizing kind of mascara, and it doesn't make your lashes clamp together. It just looks really good. And the Phantom lipstick, I mean, friends, how much I love it. It has appeared so many times in favorites of the month, favorite of the year. Such a great lip balm lipstick hybrid formulation from Hourglass. It does give volume, it plumps your lips without any pain. You're gonna feel a tiny bit of cooling sensation that is just almost imperceptible, and it protects your lips. It's hydrating to the lips. It's just so good. I think Hourglass, in certain way, it is underrated, because I see a lot of buzz about their holiday palettes, but For the other products, I think to me is one of the brands that I can go to knowing that whatever I get from foundations, from blushes, bronzers, for lipsticks, mascaras, I'm gonna get quality and results. Okay, my friends, and this makes it for this video. Let me know if you have tried any of these products, if you are adding any of them to cart immediately. Let's continue that conversation on the comment section down below. While you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, you're always invited to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep growing our family on this 6-year anniversary. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with family and friends. If you're on Instagram, please come and follow me there. I also have TikTok, but by the time that I'm recording this video, I do not know what's going on with TikTok. I mean, who knows if people can still watch it. I'm there too. And if you're not done watching my content, I'll be leaving a couple other videos at the end of the screen that I'm sure you're gonna love. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.
Entre as ruas